Okay, we're back here. I cut this end off and made my little gizmo here that I'm going to use. I'm talking away and trying to tough it out, but it's hot. I set the outside to 1-inch nominal, smack on, faced this, bored that to 7/16, which is reamer size. The only side not faced is here. So this, and this all have a relationship to each other. That will get used for an experimental reamer pusher. I'm going to put a big soup can around. I'm going to put a big aluminum shroud on it. All in I don't even know if you could see any of that. Okay, anyway, I made this thing. I forgot where the camera was. Talking away here, not looking at the monitor. Maybe you'll see this as a pusher one of these days. So for right now, I'm just going to show you what I do before I set a Gordy barrel up. I'm going to take my crowning tool and just tickle the edge, just because. Just to give it a clean entry so I don't bugger up my thing. And I mean tickle. To do there was give it a perfect pull away crown cut so that now there is no burr of any sort. There is nothing there. It's a 90-degree knife edge. Now my Gordy rod will go right in there. So I just want to, before the buggered up lapping bell end of the other barrel had a big old chamfer cut out of it for turning it between centers. This is now a good product. This is a nice solid product. So now I'm going to go in and map this bad boy out and Gordy it up. Now, as I was starting to say before, the reason I'm holding on the angle here is because my thread tenons are going to come to about here. And I want to have a nice shoulder abutment. I'm going to make this a butted barrel just for my Testing the Nouveau project. That's one of the only actions I haven't tested, don't have built up. And so I'm going to, this is for my Nouveau, which is a lovely little action. And we are trying to come to grips with how to do it. And I had gone off on a nutting tangent with it because it's a hard action to hold. Wicked hard action to grip onto with an action wrench. So, I went with a bunch of nut jobs. Haven't shot it enough to know if they shot or not. They seem to shoot fine in PPC, but I also have a 6x47. So this one is going to also be a PPC, and I'm going to do it conventionally. I'll probably even time it, depending on how straight it is. I'll probably index it. And I have to have a baseline. I have to know what I have a baseline, but if I don't have the barrel baselined, I could start with the barrel chamber throat if I have problems, then go to timing and trigger, and then I should be able to eliminate, move on to stock, bedding, all the other issues that could come up in building. Building a 10th minute gun is not just willy-nilly, flip it together. There's a billion people on the internet that will wander around gabbling endlessly about how, yeah, well, anybody with a lathe can do pretty much the same work because the lathe this and the lathe that. Well, I would call bullshit on that one. No freaking way. The right person can take an old 1947 South Bend and turn out a gun that will beat you every time on your cool new lathe if you don't know what you're... No, it's not... There are good machinists that can't make a good gun because they just simply flat don't know what they're doing. That's the problem. It's about what's important and why. So, rent off. Oh, it'll go back on again, don't worry. So, right there is my numero. There be my pivot. Nice short pivot because it's a little BPZ. Because it's a little BPC, I can go way up here. Most often I'm doing 6x47s and stuff, I have it shoved out further, but this is going to be like cheating. And I'm going to be able to map so far up into here that hopefully I can find some curvature. Maybe see, I just don't know. Now, If I want to check how far in I'm mapping, I can set up the DRO, tighten up the DRO sleeve. This way I can actually zero and take readings. But there is a better way to do it, and that's called a Sharpie. You just take a Sharpie and mark it right there. We'll also zero out the dro. So now we got a texta and a dro and a Sharpie. And now, stop. Oh, hello, little people. That scared me. I've never had that happen, but then I've never been so distracted as I am making these videos. So, texta, Sharpie, zero. Where are we? Now we're going to try a different indicator. This is a Mar Federal. It's a good indicator. Well, I don't know. Indicators are so funny because we got all these Peabodys that want to make like it's a big deal, like it's something scientific about picking an indicator. Frankly, there's Chinese indicators that do just fine, thank you very much. Just like there are Chinese, wow, mics, man, this is not perfect. Run into this before when going to a different indicator, so let's see what I can do about that. What can we read on the monitor? That would be really good, wouldn't it now? Don't see that happening. Not with this big pig. Okay. You know what? I think this little guy is a known quantity. Everybody's seen it. I've used it on plenty of videos and it showed up just fine. So, I'm going to try this little guy. I should just put a push button on here instead of that cheapo swing arm, but this is the short one that was easy one time when I was doing this, setting it up. I think that's reading. Expression. actually, if I come up here, try to focus. Foco. I know some of you YouTubey people are like, well, just zoom it, just whatever. Well, this particular lens don't just zoom. And it has some other characteristics that I find useful. So, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get something. Well, gonna have to take some of my word for it, I guess. It just is not gonna be. It's not gonna be anything more than it is. I might be able to shade it. Okay, I'm going to start this over because I've spent so much time dinkling around with the focus that I'm losing time. I'm already at 12 minutes. 11:33. So off and back on.